I always say I know I'm on the right path when I see heart-shaped rocks or heart-shaped anything. And that's where I'm home. And look at where I am. Home, sweet home.
If home is where the heart is, why do we constantly chase love, safety, and belonging and not give ourselves grace?
Welcome to my channel, This Way to Bliss, where I hike and explore, car camp in my hybrid SUV, and heal through nature, one smell, one breath, one hop, skip, hammock ride, and step at a time. Hi, I'm Candace J. Frazier. This is my story about growing through grief instead of giving up, resetting my nervous system and breaking my addiction to chaos and confusion. Out here, I found the strength to keep going and the first sparks of balance, bliss, and freedom. I have so many adventures to share, so please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really helps us out.
When you align with your own magnificence, magic happens. Hi, I'm Candace J. Frazier, poet and your guide to a journey of self-discovery and healing, to integration, to wholeness. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you like and dislike? Are you in harmony with yourself or at war? Are you dealing with fragments, parts, aspects, and identities? This Way to Bliss is about understanding your core wounds, your conditioned selves, and your ego committee, and the role they play in your everyday life to create a life of either hell or heaven, survival or thriving. Join me as we explore topics covering mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and more. Let's embark on this transformative journey together.
This is what I needed all day. I have been grinding at that keyboard, typing, words, and more words. Do you see the cross? That's really cool. About intersection of love and beauty right there. Wow. Over a year ago, I was very, very depressed and suicidal and really in the depths of despair. I actually wrote a poem about it. I wrote a lot of poems about it. But one of the biggest things that I did was I had to learn to let go of the pain and find another way out.
And nature, well, she's what showed me the way to presence, peace, and a higher perspective.
Isn't it lovely?
The Namaste Way connects you to the frequency of love.
Yeah.
The Namaste Way will guide you to live in alignment with yourself and others, in harmony. The Namaste Way, you become the hero of your own story. You become love. With the Namaste Way, you will stop chasing and seeking love, safety, and belonging outside yourself. You will regulate, reset, and rise. The Namaste Way, illuminating the path to victory over victim mentality. Inhaling the bliss and love that is infinite and omnipresent. The Namaste Way is the power of love to surrender and find sovereignty, so that you shift from suffering and survival mode and shift to thrive mode. The Namaste Way is your path home to your heart, soul, and your inner citadel, the fortress within. This fortress within can be retrofitted or destroyed by internal battles or internal cheers. But to weather the storms of life, be aligned with the divine health and joy, not division and strife. Estrangement from the divine self within is how your citadel will be overrun. So you must go home within your heart. That's where it all starts. The Namaste Way will teach you that any discomfort or hardship or attack on your inner citadel, yourself, whether it's sickness, failure, stresses, struggles, hardships of any kind, they actually serve the purpose of providing the citadel, yourself, the purpose of discovery of their belief, behaviors, and habits that are distressing and deteriorating the citadel from within. This poem is in the next manuscript I'm working on. It's called Heights of Heaven. Feeling beat down by the reality of life, disappointments, rejection, and strife, throws her hands in the air, the contrast of what's not going right, but also what's positive and negative hidden out of visual sight. Ambiguous and sometimes contrite, worn down by ego's fight, outshining its darkness with her light. Its ascension she seeks, mercy to take flight, but first rise out of hell to meet bliss in heaven's heights. So if you didn't already know, the walls we build to protect us are actually the very same walls that block our bliss. Survival mode will have people hanging on to titles of disease like monkeys hanging from trees, ignoring their inner child pleas to stop hating thee, begging, please take better care of me so we can be badass and live free from dysregulation, dissociation, and disease and tap into thrive blissfully. When holding on to old hurts emotionally, you allow ego to be a thief of your health and sanity. Put down the sword and seek, like a honeybee, the sweetness of your inner sensuality. Soon your life will be blissed and you will live healed now in the inner and outer harmony. So as my awareness of who I am grows, highlighting the negative influences that must go and how to love myself so I can grow. As I let go and my tears fall, I find myself at a transformation wall, purging, clearing the memories flowing on recall. At first, I was so wounded I couldn't even crawl. But as I step back, breathe, and reflect on it all, I acknowledge the emotion and remain mindful so my progress doesn't stall. Healing from negative influences and toxic abuse is an order very tall. It takes patience, kindness, self-forgiveness, and a few trips to the mall. Letting go isn't failing. No, not at all. It's courageous to surrender, but it is still a feat none too small. Trusting and believing it will be okay. Just be aware you cannot walk before you crawl. Wrap yourself in healing brace of self-love shaw. Be mindful of your focus. It is your desired order on call. So breathe, feel the pain, and allow the tears to fall. Accept and process the painful emotions. To heal, they need to flow, not stall. Warning, incoming emotions.
There's nothing worse than wanting to help people, and every time you try to ask people to help you, find people to help, and they reject you. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm making the post. I'm reaching out. I'm talking to people, and I keep getting rejected. I can't help but feel like I'm not wanted. Which puts me in a whole other mindset. And it hijacks my happy, throws me into my hell. I just want to help people.
Yesterday was a really challenging day. We had this crazy full moon energy, and if you do or don't know, I'm an entrepreneur and I've been doing this for 5 years, and it has been quite a difficult journey. But it's my passion and I know it's my heart's calling. So no matter how hard it gets and I feel like giving up, I just can't help myself. I just want to show up and motivate and inspire people. And yesterday I was feeling very disempowered and rejected by the experience of being not seen on social media. And it really pushed those buttons of feeling invisible as a child. So today I'm going to nature and I'm going to let go with the flow, be like a dragonfly, live life to the fullest, and embrace the new beginnings and just see what flows out of that with joy. Are you struggling with letting go of something that's possibly not healthy for you? Here's something you can start repeating instead of beating yourself down for what it is that you probably already intuitively know you've got to let go of. So, I am ready to free myself from situations that no longer serve me. Look, life is a constant ebb and flow, and we get caught up in holding on with attachments to what we think makes us happy because it just becomes a groove. What if you can reset that groove and write a new story? That's the point here, is if you don't let go of what no longer is serving you in your happiness and it's hijacking it, it's time to let go with forgiveness and step into finding your flow and just trust that what's for you isn't going to miss you, and just let it go and flow. So are you struggling with accepting the now and who you are? You don't like who you see in the mirror. You do not like how you feel. Let me tell you a little secret. The more you focus on that, the more it's going to expand into more pain and unhappiness. So in order to transcend that cycle of pain, it really is about getting into the now and living life to the fullest. When I was struggling, I did a little experiment with myself. I call it the 7 days to Namaste, which meant happiness, being centered and grounded. And it was being fully present in the now, seeing the beauty in all things, letting go with forgiveness what I perceive to be failure or rejection, and see it through the lens of love and curiosity, hence the wonder goggles with the lens of love. And as I began to do that and live in things that inspire me, which is what I'm getting ready to do now, which is go to nature because it inspires me, ease and freedom comes with that. I am officially ready to head off to nature. Not sure where I'm going to go. I'm just going to tap in and go with the flow like I said I was going to. And that always leads me to my highest good. That's that intuition, that gut instinct. I used to hate change, fought it tooth and nail, even if it meant that what I was going to get rid of or let go of was going to be better off with me not holding on to it. But I'd still hold on for dear life. Does that sound like you? Okay, well, here's a little tip. New beginnings only happen if we let go of what's weighing us down behind us. Right now in this moment is all we have. And so in order to really step into our bliss, we got to let go of what's making us feel amiss. And that is challenging to do when your whole experience so far up to this point has been struggle, chaos, forcing. So a new way to approach this is to claim that you are excited to be in this new beginning and you trust that what's for you is going to open up the door to new opportunities that bliss you even more. Yeah. Yeah. Aha. I be doing what I like to be doing. I be playing. My Friday means fun, and that means off-roading to an adventure spot to watch the sunset. So here we go. It's a little bumpy because it's kind of a sandy lake bed. We're going over there. We gotta go this way because I don't want to get stuck in the sand because I don't got sand tracks or a shovel, and I have a screwed up back. So I'll be back. Are you excited? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? You hear the doggies? You hear other doggies? You want to go play with other doggies? Yeah? And ta-da! We are at our favorite spot. We're going to go take a walk down there. And over to there. And maybe over there. And most definitely over there. Because it's Friday! And I love being outside. So, look at these flowers. Aren't they pretty? And I'm going to hang my hammock up right here and have that infamous sunset view. And that's going to be my Friday. My Friday fun feels free. She sniffed the dirt, got it in her nose. Silly pup. She likes the sand. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Hua. Just a couple old gals. Yeah, she's got subluxing patella. And she's like almost 13. Or no, is 13. Home away, I am the queen of the lake. Queen of the lake. Inspecting my house, you know. Okay, well, here we are at the lake on Friday. Now there's forest, but I chose to have a lazy Friday because I got things to work on for y'all. And this is my car glamping setup. This is the Chihuahua Zizi Boo Boo. Zizi, say hi. Clearly she's having her bliss life, doesn't want to talk. So let's play a game, and if you can't see, let's guess what is in my bag for me to eat. Like, let's see. And then check this out. I have this all, bam, this opens up perfectly. Then I have my salad for later, which I'll shake in my bag. Got some hummus. My lunch with some snap peas, which I'm about to eat right now, with some kombucha. Or maybe kombucha later, and then my dog's food for dinner. But yeah.
I came on this adventure prepared. However, I came into this experience as a human unprepared. And like many of us, this is a cycle that has been passed down from generation to generation. And it takes courage to step into that fire and get transformed by it. And it takes even more courage to stop chasing love, safety, and belonging outside of ourselves and empower ourselves to use life as a classroom for self-mastery so we can transcend these cycles of pain and catastrophe that we have been born into. Similar to how the butterfly didn't come into the world as a butterfly, it started as a caterpillar, and it spent 80% of its time in that cocoon transforming its mind, its beliefs, its identity in order to become the butterfly. So if you flip it to the darkness is my sacred space for my becoming, then you no longer are stuck in that victim mode of suffering and chasing love, safety, and belonging, and instead become it within yourself, within your citadel, fortifying you.
Okay, so what's this 7 days to Namaste to get to your badass bliss all about? Well, back about a year ago, I was really struggling. Everything I tried had failed, and I'd lost all hope and purpose, and just no confidence. I was fed up. And so I decided, okay, well, let's play it full out. I am dead now. What did I miss? What am I missing? What would I have wanted to do more of before I died? And so nature, art, good food, good people was at the top of those like badass bliss things that I wanted. And I like hanging out with people, but only when my battery is full now. And I love calm and peace and just being able to be still in my body, because I've never been able to do that. I've always been busy, but not now.
I found the journey back home to self, similar to how these birds migrate, can be a bit painful and bumpy, but that process is essential. Without it, you never journey that path. You never find your way back home. You never find your way out of that cycle of fear and suffering and transcend it. Namaste Way and Thrive and the 7 levers to heaven elevate you to a higher perspective and connect you to the highest version of yourself possible. To feel fun, fabulous, and free is going to require you give yourself permission. Permission to let go of the old stories. Permission to examine the beliefs and identity that you've adopted through your programming that happened by the time you were 7, by the way, that you had no control over. And permission to love yourself as you release those negative influences. The Namaste Way is a bridge from toxic and surviving to thriving and thankful. I am proof that you can learn to live an authentic, abundant, and aligned life by using the foundation of trauma as the revolution for your evolution. I know how to build a new vision and align powerfully with health and wealth by becoming the hero of my own story. Okay, let's talk about getting triggered, because it still happens even though I'm healed. And I like to call it a pop quiz in this cosmic classroom of consciousness. And so it's about choosing, it's about transmuting, it's about loving the now and realizing that what was behind you that triggered you isn't you anymore. It was just a reflection of how your ego can react in this classroom when it feels invalidated, a sense of not being honored and respected or attacked, or just in general not feeling seen or loved. So remember, every act is an act of love or cry for love. So in those moments, choose love. Choose to be at ease. Choose to let it go.
choose to know that it was here to help you grow.
Here's your recap, and remember, healing isn't a straight line, it's a spiral back home to yourself. I'm celebrating your decision to move from survival to self-sovereignty and self-sourced love. And I hope that this story reminds you that your healing begins the moment you choose yourself, right now, and not your misery. Coming home to yourself is the alchemy. If you're ready to stop abandoning yourself and embody the grace and love you've been chasing, join me in the Divine Alchemy VIP course. If you're feeling that nudge, that's your higher self calling. Book your transformation strategy call and let's map out your next chapter of clarity, confidence, and bliss. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Stay tuned for the next episode. We're finally going camping again, and this time it's going to be different because it's my first one without alcohol. It's an epic episode you don't want to miss. What began as a trip to the ocean became a deeper homecoming to balance, calm, and self-respect. I learned that freedom isn't found in escaping the storm, but in no longer rocking your own boat. Taking bold action and facing your fears and realizing self-love is the way home. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can traverse the next trail with me. Share this with your friends so you can bring your buddies along too. Stay sovereign, stay self-sourced, and remember, your heart is your home.